Welcome back to Patreon Dinar Investor, where we dive in a lot deeper to the news. Let's get started. So a lot of just since this past week, since Iraq went to the World Economic Forum in Davos, a lot of critical news and important information is coming out. Right now, we're in a very critical, important period with this investment where you don't want to rush it. It's just important to stay grounded and watch and observe how this plays out day by day and week by week. Again, very critical information is coming out. So let's get into this. First article here. So again, if you'd like to join, it's Patreon Dinar Investor. We dive in a lot deeper. First round of articles. So what I did here was I compiled a bunch of critical economic steps that are happening throughout the month of February, strongly suggesting that the rate change is needed. So Iraq has a UR portal. It's an international portal. It can be accessed from anybody in anywhere in the world, including Iraqi citizens in Dearborn, Michigan. They're going to start offering mortgages on the UR portal starting February 2nd. Okay? February 1st through the 7th, the Minister of Trade, the 48th session of the Baghdad International Fair will be distinguished in terms of preparation, size, diversity of participation. Let's check out the summary on this. 48th International Fair is expected to be significant, exceeding previous sessions in terms of preparation, organization, and participation. Enhanced preparations, Ministry of Trade is making exceptional efforts to ensure a well-organized organized and well-prepared exhibition. International participation, meaning lots of different participants from around the world. Investment focus. The exhibition aims to attract investors throughout dedicated meetings between public and private sectors, with the potential for signing partnerships agreements across various fields. Improved visitor experience. Organizers are implementing new mechanisms for visitor entry and plan to hold cultural and entertainment events throughout the fair. Modernized infrastructure. The exhibition will feature innovative designs including green spaces, modern pavilions, restaurants, fountains, and visual displays. There's another one, February 16th. Iraq British Business Council to hold innovation conference next month. Remember, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Iraq sent a delegation to Britain and or the UK to meet with Iraq sent their delegation to meet with British officials and companies, and they drafted around $15 billion worth of MOU agreements for infrastructure upgrades and so forth throughout the country of Iraq. That's part of their reform plan and 5-year development plan. Okay. Now with this conference, though, it says on the Iraqi British Council announced an innovation conference in Baghdad. Okay. Following the Prime Minister Mohammed Shia Soudani's visit to the UK, where a $15 billion trade agreement was signed. The conference aims to showcase Iraq's innovation efforts to explore future opportunities with UK and international, that's right, UK and international partners. Topics include digital financial modernization. Iraq is transitioning to electronic banking. That doesn't mean digital currencies. That just means electronic systems for debit transactions, okay? But again, they're implementing banking reform steps. That's what all this is. Banking sector reform, 5G technology, maritime innovation, energy innovation, content creation. So again, international steps, international participants and partners attending. Very critical piece to the economic puzzle. Late February, government spokesperson Avadi, domestic political stability, right there, domestic political stability, that was a central bank requirement to be eligible to revalue, has contributed to Iraq becoming an international meeting point. And it says the Iraqi government spokesman stated that Iraq's domestic political stability has transformed the country into an international hub for diplomacy and investment. He highlighted that the government's role in mediating regional issues, addressing the impacts of the Gaza war, and fostering political stability Awadi emphasized that the global companies view Iraq as a promising investment destination and noted the upcoming Baghdad Forum on the development path scheduled for late February. Okay, again, late February, when they're saying Iraq has domestic political stability, and it transformed the country into an international hub because they have political stability. So in late February is when this will occur. Okay. Now, here's something that came out. This was posted on the central bank's website for next April. So today, the central bank met with some officials from Washington, D.C. Says the central bank revealed today, Sunday, the upcoming visit of a delegation Washington next April. What are they going to discuss or do? The Central Bank of Iraq announced an upcoming visit by its delegation to Washington in April. This visit was revealed during a meeting in Baghdad between the governor of the central bank and Steve Lotus, vice president of the American Chamber of Commerce and the president of the U.S. Iraqi Business Council. Discussions focused on strengthening banking and economic relationships between Iraq and the U.S., as well as plans for the delegation to meet with the American Chamber of Commerce and U.S. companies during their visit. Now, let's talk about this. This might make you think that you're waiting till March, April for the rates change. Not necessarily. Let's talk about why. Back in Trump's first term, Trump had already positioned a massive Iraq delegation. This was back in August of 2020. Trump positioned a massive delegation, an Iraqi delegation, to meet with U.S. officials and U.S. companies, just like 2 weeks ago while Iraq was in the UK, Britain, for infrastructure upgrades. Okay, part of the 5-year development plan. Like back then they drafted a $1.2 billion agreement with GE, for example. Okay, here's my point to you. Iraq has already met with the United States and U.S. companies. They already did that preliminary step. This, to me, would suggest this is the step that comes after the rate has changed. This is where Iraq says, hey, we've already changed our rate. We're back on the world stage. It's time to play ball. Let's get down to business. That's what this meeting is to me. This is after the fact. So don't let this meeting make you think that you're waiting till March, April for the rate to change. That's not really what this is, okay? And then right here it says, yes, the meeting is related to Iraq's efforts to enhance international, economic, and financial ties. The planned visit to Washington and discuss with U.S. entities indicates steps towards greater integration into the global economy, fostering international partnerships. So again, a lot of critical articles have come out recently. Al-Sudani confirms Iraq's readiness to coordinate between regional countries. In this article, this had to do with, it was a bilateral meeting between Sudani and the Turkish foreign minister. They were focusing on regional stability, Iraq's stance in Syria, enhanced cooperation, following up on previous agreements. Minister of Trade, the 48th session of Baghdad International Fair will be distinguished in terms of preparation, size, and diversity of preparation. In this article here, they are discussing enhanced preparations, Ministry of Trade making exceptional efforts to ensure a well-organized and well-prepared exhibition. Again, international participation, investment focus, improved visitor experience, and modernized infrastructure. That screams international. Al-Sudani calls on American companies to participate in the development renaissance in Iraq. In this article here, investment opportunities. Al-Sudani invited American companies to participate in Iraq's development renaissance. Attractive and business-friendly investment environment. Economic reforms. Upcoming forum, the meeting reviewed preparations for the American Companies Representatives Forum, 18 agreements and MOUs. It says right there, as well as see right there, look at that. Remember how I told you that previous article that mentioned next April? Okay, just so you don't get on the bandwagon of thinking that, oh no, we have to wait till March to April for the rate to change. Right here, it says right here, they're inviting U.S. companies to meet and discuss and have and be part of the development renaissance within Iraq. But right here, they're already telling you that, again, from the past, they already have as implementation of 18 agreements and MOUs signed during Sudanese visit to the U.S. in 2024. Again, and that's right. They met with the Iraqi delegations met with U.S. officials under Trump back in 2020, and they also met mid last year in 2024. They're telling you right here, they have 18 agreements and MOUs signed and in place, ready to implement. That's why they will be meeting just a little later this year, March to April, to discuss the implementation of these items, not to draft them. So again, these meetings don't have anything to do with the rate changing or you or us waiting for it in March to April. This is buckling down, getting to business after the rate has already changed. Okay? Soudani discusses with Fadan the implementation of the memoranda of understanding signed with Ankara. In this article here, they discuss regional stability, bilateral cooperation, strategic development road project, security coordination, and historical context. They're launching numerous jobs throughout the Nineveh province. Regarding Iraq's budget, the conflict of law text between Baghdad. And this right here, tensions between the Iraqi federal government and the Kurdistan regional government escalated over amendments to the budget law, particularly Article 12, which governs the resumption of oil exports from the Kurdistan region. Key points include dispute over amendments regarding Article 12, federal government stance, economic implications, and again, they made amendments to the existing amendments within the budget, and it says the new amendments include deductions of up to $16 per barrel, raising concerns about reduced revenues for the public treasury. Delays in resolving the dispute threaten to postpone the resumption of Kurdistan's oil exports, which are critical to Iraq's overall financial stability and broader impact. So one of the things, though, recently new information came out from the Prime Minister's office. It was posted on X, where they said that the Prime Minister's office stated that these new round of amendments that they made to the existing amendments needed to be removed. And for one, the newer amendments were unconstitutional because they were drafted by the Parliamentary Finance Committee when, per the Constitution, only the Cabinet or Council of Ministers can make amendments to laws. Parliamentary demands to amend Articles 12 and 14 of the budget. During an interview, a representative from the Central and Southern Front emphasized the demand to amend Article 12 and 14 of the budget. We'll patiently wait and see what happens going forward on that. The Central Bank of Iraq receives an American delegation and discusses with it the country's foreign transfers. In this article here, they met, and what they discussed was strengthening bilateral relations, an upcoming visit that would probably be what's in April, in future investment opportunities, economic growth, and foreign transfers. Again, reforming their banking right there to utilize foreign currencies. Iraqi Transport. There are plans to link provinces and the Kurdistan region with the development road project. In this article, they discussed, it was an update on the development road project, project progress. There's some details there about the FA port. They're saying it's 96% complete. Governance coordination, economic impact, connectivity, international interest, and future plans. And this right here has to do with next month, the Iraqi British Business Council, the IBBC, to be held next month in February. Again, that's a very critical international step. Prime Minister Soudani stresses that Iraq is ready to ensure coordination among regional countries. In this article here, they did discuss the Strategic Development Path project and a lot of critical international details on this. Prime Minister Soudani stressed the importance of making maximum efforts to implement the plans with the government program. Today, Soudani met with the Mason governor, provincial council, and other officials to discuss the province's services, security, economic situation. Al-Soudani emphasized the importance of completing key projects, water and sewage systems, 5 bridges over the Tigris River, and so forth. And they discussed the Amara International Airport as well. They think they have 2 or 3 new international airports coming forward later this year as well. Here's a critical article. Important, most of the world's leading companies see Iraq as a virgin land for investment and appointed to the Baghdad Forum on the development path to be held at the end of February. Critical article here. Iraqi government spokesperson Awadi stated that Iraq's domestic political stability has transformed the country into an international hub for diplomacy and investment. And this has to do with the upcoming Baghdad Forum on the development path. So, very critical articles and stuff coming out. We have more posted. If you want to check them out, please consider joining us on Patreon, Dinar Investor. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video and have a great day. Take care.